Hey guys, welcome to me struggling for my life, honestly. I've just been sitting in front of my books for like 10 minutes staring all of them, be like, how in the heck will I put you in order? Because today we're doing my best books of 2020. Wait, the best of the best, the one that came through, the one that changed my life, the ones that kept me going, did my year. I had 12 books that I gave 5 stars, so I read almost 60 books. You all mean so much. Like, it's like choosing your favorite child. Like, that's not even legal, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, I did that. It hurt me a lot, but we're gonna go in the order from least best to the best. So get ready. The first one is On the Come Up by Angie Thomas. I think the reason I put it on number 10 is because I recently read it, and I even though like I really like it, I really loved it, I love the message, I love everything. There's another Angie Thomas book that is going to be higher on the list. Obviously you can tell I like her writing, but I just felt like it's unfair. So this is probably the only reason I put it number 10. Obviously I enjoyed this book so much. Fantastic character development, fantastic just like family dynamics, fantastic just conversations, and fantastic representation of African American culture. Like, I loved that. For me, number 9. I swear to God, this is not on purpose, but like, I feel like I'm going through my like the most recent reads to my oldest 5 stars, because they had some time to sit around and like, you know, warm in my heart. And the recent reads, maybe they didn't do so much as me, but Words on Bathroom Walls, picking up this book, I did not expect it to be making it anywhere. So it was definitely one of the most surprising books I read this year. At first, when I started reading it, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, yeah, it's good. But then, I don't know, it meant so much to me, and like the amount of me wishing to reread it like right away is crazy. Like, as I said, I never really want to reread a book right after I finish it, but this was definitely the case with this one. I loved the heck out of it, and yes, my number 9 is this. So number 8 is The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime by Mark Haddon. I know, Lee, I'm sorry, but like, I honestly loved the book. I honestly loved the engagement it gave me. I loved the chapters. I loved the main character. I loved his thought process. I loved what he just did for himself, and how everything just like came together. That the book is just taking such a like short period of time. I think it's like only 2 days, and then in the end it's like a few months more into their lives. But like, the story itself happens within like such a short period of time. And there's so much like I learned that was explained to me, and I honestly did not care, and I didn't even look into what the author was thinking when he was writing it, what kind of representations he wanted to put in there. Like, I honestly do not care. I rate books and I read books for my pleasure, and like, as long as I enjoy it, as long as I learn stuff from it, as long as it touches me in some way, like, I will have deep appreciation for the book, no matter what, you know, author tried to do with it. Like, I think the author could try to do completely different thing, but if I take out something that he didn't mean to, like, it's not like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, I like this thing, but this is not what you meant, so you bad book. I just don't do that. So I enjoyed the heck out of this book. Really short, sweet read. I honestly want to buy a better copy. This is kind of like thrifted and kind of neglected a little bit, but I will always have fond memories of it. And then we have my new favorite, nonfiction. I haven't had one in a long while. I mean, I do read quite a bit of nonfiction. I don't know the stats. I haven't looked at what kind of genres I read. I know that I read a big variety of everything, but I think my last nonfiction that I really loved was Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie's We'll All Be Feminists and Dear Joelle, or Feminist Manifesto and 15 Suggestions. Those were like my top for 2019, and I loved those so much. And I think I didn't have like a big hit for so long, but like Wild by Share Straight, it was just such a cool journey to go into. And I was thinking all the time, I was like, there's no way I'm going this Pacific Crest Trail and doing crazy stuff like this. Like, the amount of pain and just like sorrow she described having, you know, going through all of this was just like, I felt for her, but at the same time it excited me to go try the same thing. And like, I'm honestly seriously considering going through this trail. If you don't know, the Pacific Crest Trail goes from borders from Mexico to Canada, goes through California to Oregon to Washington, so it's like a long trail, and there's like wilderness, there's nothing there. There's a few stops that you will stop, you know, for more supplies, for more water, for maybe some rest, but usually this trail takes you like 3 months to complete. And like she hasn't completed all of that, like from border to border, but she had still really cool journey, and so many just like things going for her, and she learned a lot, even though like she isn't perfect, her life isn't perfect. But I like that about characters. I like that when they're going through something real. And yeah, this was just a really fantastic story. And she wrote, I think, 1 or 2 more books that I actually will be really interested in checking it out. So number 7, this was a fantastic book, actually. I highly enjoyed it. Number 6, I don't know, it was really hard for me to do that, but like Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I enjoyed reading this book so much. I don't know if I will enjoy it as much upon the reread, because the main thing of the book is trying to figure out who was the actual murderer, what actually happened. And so like I don't know how I'll feel upon rereading it, because like I already know, and the reveal surprised the heck out of me and I enjoyed it so much. But this was a fantastic YA mystery thriller that I did not again expect to come through so strong on me, and this was definitely a surprise as well. So I'm surprised that this year Mitch Albom and Agatha Christie did not make it to my top 10. Usually they're right on top, they're right there, you know, doing things for me. And this year, I mean, they still were great books, but none of them made to this top 5. Just spoilers, but like I looked at these 5 books and I'm like, I can't choose. I honestly was thinking about putting this book as my top 1 favorite, like the favorite book of the year, but it ended up to be on the 5th place, which I do not agree with myself, and I hate myself for doing this, but like there was just so many good books. You by Caroline Kaptis is on the tab as a 5th place. I cannot tell you how much appreciation I have for this book, how many turns and twists like she wasn't scared to do, how crazy she went like to just give this book to exist. I know that the authors must be really brave writing stuff like that, but I definitely enjoyed it. I cannot wait for the sequel. I don't know why it's taking me so long, but like this was everything, and I highly recommend it to everyone. Explicit language is the only thing why I cannot recommend it to everyone, but like it's still so good. It's so good. And like TV show, it doesn't disappoint. Like it goes a little bit different, it goes a little bit, tries to make more sense, but like it was kind of relatable and kind of sweet and kind of funny and so murderous that I just love that. So it's number 5. Number 4, which is crazy because I don't know, I'm trying, am I gonna change it a little bit? The Shining by Stephen King is number 4. I'm sorry. I loved so much. I love this book so much. It helped me to read another book that is gonna be my top least favorite books. Keep your eyes on it. It's gonna come out like next day probably, because I'm pre-filming everything today, just for you to know. This was definitely one of the highlights of my summer. When we had a flood, when I had horrible books going for me, when I had to read 75 pages a day, like this book came through and it was just so good. Number 3, we're in a top 3. Can you guess what those are? I think you know. I mean, I don't read that much that you completely gonna be surprised. But number 3 is so not fair. Like, how is it number 3? The Hate U Give is number 3. Oh my god. This is the best YA contemporary I've ever read. On the Come Up is good, but Hate U Give hits you so much. I will still erase the first chapter of the book, don't get me wrong. I would still do, but I would love to read it. I love family dynamics. I cannot wait for Concrete Rose. It introduced me to probably my new all-time favorite author, which I did not think at that time, but the more I read by her, the more I think about her, the more I'm like, I feel through her writing so much. And why is it number 3? I don't know. Why is it not number 1? I swear to God, I was staring at them and I was like, I can't put you anywhere else but number 1. It's gonna be number 1 for hard-hitting YA contemporary, for real. Number 2. How is it number 2 though? A Man Called Ove by Fredrik Backman. I was thinking about this book throughout the entire year. This was the first book I read, and it keeps popping in my mind. It keeps popping. The story is so vivid, the conversations, like the jokes, like I want to reread it so badly. All of the books that I give 5 stars, they're all possible rereads in my future because of how much they impact me. I definitely see myself rereading it, and definitely see myself fall in love with his writing, him become my new favorite author. I don't know why, just like by his cover I could see that this is so similar to what I would like right now because of some things that happened recently. This book for some reason comes to my mind more and more often, and I'm glad that this book gives you hope. It has a really good message that I appreciate so much. And I'm getting sad, so I'm gonna stop thinking about this book, but it's definitely a great one. Highly recommend. And number 1, the best book of the year. Is it you? Is it you though? You guys know. The Kind Worth Killing by Peter Swanson stole my heart, and even though I don't remember much how I felt when I was reading the book, I think it was September. I appreciate authors that go out of normal and can create such an obscure situation, such a weird, bad situation, but make characters look good in it. You know what I'm saying? Take things to the next level. Say normal is not normal. You know what? There are people, the kind of people that are worth killing, and this is why they're worth killing. And like, you understand that this is wrong, you understand that murdering people is wrong, and like, you and I, we're adults, we're not gonna go kill anybody, but like, do we like reading about it stuff? Hell yeah, we do. Listen, Lily's story, Lily's past, like her way of thinking, her way of doing things, you feel for her so much. And even though she doesn't come up as a main protagonist at first, she's definitely one. She's like a villain and a good guy at the same time. So you don't know if to root for her or not. And I love that conflicting stuff for myself. There you go, guys. The best book of 2020. The best mystery thriller I've ever read. This is the best shit. Read it. This is the best stuff. This is the best stuff you ever find. Like, if you love mystery thriller, you haven't read this, I thought, I was like, oh, everybody's hyping up, obviously I'm not gonna like it. Like you will. Like you will. You will. Don't worry. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next one. Bye!